I am in Ocean Grove. It is Thursday night, July 11th, and my husband is leaving tomorrow, early tomorrow, to go to Texas for a few days, and I thought this would be a great time to take off a vlog where I am alone in my house. It is a working vlog. I'm going to be working, but I will be doing other things too. Starting with, I am going to the Ocean Grove Ladies Auxiliary book sale, which is an annual book sale that they do every year in July, and it's a huge book sale, and it's a big deal. I wait for it every year, and I'm super excited, and I already bought so many books in Ohio, but I think this will be a fun time. So I am going to the book sale. Okay, I'm back basically exactly where I was the other day because I'm gonna go to the book sale again. I wasn't gonna do it. I got like 24 books yesterday, but today's a free day to get in, so I thought it would just be nice to go again and just check if I missed anything. They were putting more books out in the summer section. I was also hoping it wouldn't be as busy and I could film a little because I didn't get to film at all yesterday when I went. This morning, my husband left super early at 6:15 to catch a flight. I went back to bed at like 10 after he had gotten on the plane, and then I did some work when I got up. I had a little bit of lunch. I'm going to make myself a good dinner tonight, some vegetables. That's it. So let's go back to the book sale real quick. Tomorrow there's another book sale, and then Wednesday there's another book sale. So let's go back to the book sale real quick and see if I missed anything. What is the weather like right now? 81. Oh my god. I'm having a sneezing fit. It is the next day again. Oh my gosh. I haven't even really introed this vlog. Hi. Hi, I'm Mo. My husband's away for like 5 days. I just got back from Ohio. I feel like this is a good in my 40s diary. I have to work all weekend. It is Saturday, July 13th. I started this vlog on Thursday night, but my husband actually left early yesterday morning. I thought this would be good, you know, a couple of days, maybe a week to vlog. I am doing a bunch of other vlogs, or at least like checking in on a lot of other vlogs. Like I had to do my June wrap-up parts. I had to do my July wrap-up parts because I wasn't able to do that that while I was in Ohio. I am working on a Portal book vlog. I had my TBR spin that I had to finish for May, and then I just filmed and picked my TBR spin for June. Yes, I'm behind on my TBR spin. And it's Giallo July, which is like a horror thriller July readathon that's new, which is based on the Italian Giallo line of books, which were like yellow books. So I'm also reading a book for that. I also want to start a Summerween vlog because I was away during Summerween and I didn't want to read horror and thriller books while I was away because I thought I would be too scared because I was on my own, and now I'm on my own again, so I don't know if I'm really fully gonna start reading horror yet either. But I do want to start that vlog too, which I probably will start while I'm making this vlog. So that's a lot of vlogs, you know, like hopefully the content is like varied enough that they're all at least interesting. And obviously the In My 40s Diaries, although I keep teasing a ultimate book video in this series, are not all about reading. They're more all about my daily life. So I do have to work all weekend. It's payroll week, which I'm just not accustomed to payroll yet. Like, I like doing it, but it's a lot of work. And I gotta be honest, Friday and Saturday, so far, it's 5:33 on Saturday. I have not done a lot of work. Yesterday I worked for a couple of hours. I was just so tired, and then I decided to go back to the book sale. Oh, that's something that I wanted to do. Let's go do that. I haven't done that much work yet because I wanted to go back to the book sale. I just wanted to give you some highlights of what I got at the Ladies Auxiliary book sale. So the Ladies Auxiliary book sale in Ocean Grove, New Jersey is an annual sale. It always happens in July, and they collect books for it all year, and then they have a preview night on Thursday. So that was the first night that I went to and where I got the majority of these books. I mean, I got total 33 books. I'm not going to show you all of them. I'll just show you some highlights that I found. It's a sale that I love to go to every year. It's a sale that I look forward to, and I'm kind of starting to think, because I did so much book shopping in Ohio, and there's a sale tomorrow, a book sale in a town a couple towns down, and there's a township library sale on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I think I am gonna, like, maybe in years going forward make July like a book month, and maybe that would be like a fun vlog to do one year, is like follow me around on a book month, and I can include Ohio so that my Ohio vlogs don't get stale, and I can do all the various book sales, and maybe I'll even like seek out book sales or go to bookstores specifically or whatever. Anyway, something to think about for the future, but for now, I have already collected so many books. I got around 34 books in Ohio. I just picked up 33 books in this book sale, and here are some highlights. I picked this book up, We Took to the Woods by Louise Dickinson Rich, and I was like, this sounds so cool. And then I went home and it was on my want to read list. So this had previously been on my radar, but this is just an old nonfiction book. It was written in 1942 about a family who moves to Maine and decides to live on their own in like a remote location sustainably and under their own means, similar to Scott and Helen Nearing, who I've read the first of their books where they lived in Vermont, which is called The Good Life. I also read a similar book by Anne LaBastille where she goes to the Adirondacks and lives a remote and sustainable life, and like this is just like a dream for me. Like, I would love to live a remote and sustainable life at some point in my life. I'm a sucker for like the city and the convenience. I'm about to go walk out and buy groceries. You know, it's 2 blocks away. It's so easy. It's so simple. I love that. But there's something I love too about the intentionality of the hardship of living a sustainable life and growing your own food and having to keep things and having to think ahead. Like, even during the pandemic, I really enjoyed having to take inventory of everything that we owned and really come up with things that we could use up and really plan things out. But convenience so often gets in the way of that, and convenience so often makes that almost impossible when you're used to it. I definitely feel like convenience and your own convenience and letting go of your own convenience is the only way to live a sustainable lifestyle in this day and age. And obviously you can't necessarily do what these people did in the 40s, and Scott and Helen Nearing did in the 60s, and Anne Lebestil did in the 70s and 80s. It's getting harder and harder to do that, but I love to read books about it. So I was super excited to find this one. I got this amazing copy of Poor Things. I don't know if I'm gonna like Poor Things. I've heard some things about both the movie and the book that made me think that I wouldn't really like it. But after having read Frankenstein, I am interested in Frankenstein-esque stories and Frankenstein retellings. And I know that so many people are obsessed with Frankenstein retellings and Frankenstein-esque stories. And this one does seem really interesting. And then this copy is so amazing. I didn't realize when I picked it up that it is illustrated and there's all these little pictures. So I just thought that was so cool. And I'm glad that I got this copy. And I do love a hardcover. I think this is a beautiful edition. I didn't realize at the time that it would be like that. I got 3 IMDb books. I got 3 NYRB books. It's really hard to find NYRB books at book sales like this because a lot of times they'll have like a preview where you pay more, or people are waiting at the door the second it opens and people are buying books to resell. I think that's kind of like, I don't begrudge anyone reselling things as their business. I have often tinkered with the idea of that, but I think in this day and age, it is almost like a vulturistic style of doing so. I've been to so many book sales in the last year where people have gone in and bought hundreds and hundreds of books out from under like actual readers. And I know that a lot of people, elderly people or people at a disadvantage, often use these book sales as times to get books, to get the luxury that is having books. So I feel like sometimes those are really taken advantage of. That mentality is a bad mentality, to come in and take all the books that are worth anything. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you? Get out of there. Get. I will feed you some in a minute. Or here's the other thing. I think you should have to, if you're going to do that and you're going to resell the books, you should have to pay more. Because at this book sale, all books that are written after, I think, like 4 years, all books that are written before a certain year, I think at this book sale it's 2000 and before, are $1 for a soft cover and $2 for a hardcover. Extremely cheap, extremely accessible for people with no money, but overly accessible for someone who's going to turn around and sell a NYRB book for $10, $15, $20. I mean, normally these books go for $14.95 to $18.95. So like if you're selling them for $10, you're making a profit. Someone is getting the book at a cheaper price than they would from buying it at the website, but you're making like a huge profit at $1, so and the whole point of a lot of these book sales, like library book sales and the Ladies Auxiliary, is to like go to a certain cause. So I feel like if you're a reseller, you should have to pay a higher price. And I would say the way to tell that would be to buy, if you buy over a certain amount of books, over 60 books at a book sale, over 100 books at a book sale. Because I bought 30 books, and even if the limit was 30, and then you have to start paying the higher price, like, yes, I can do that. If I'm going there and I'm buying 60 books, I can afford to pay a little more. And people who are reselling can definitely afford to pay a little more. It's gotten out of hand. But back to NYRB. I pick up NYRB books when I see them because I trust NYRB. Every book that I've read by NYRB is amazing. And they specialize in forgotten classics, nonfiction, fiction, well-known authors, little-known authors. And this time I picked up 3. I didn't even look at what they were. So I had to come home and kind of think about what they were. And I realized that one of them is called Memoirs of an Anti-Semite. This is by Gregor von Razori, and I honestly didn't even look at the cover. I just saw that it was NYRB and I picked it up because I know I'm going to want to read it, and I'm sure I am going to want to read it, but I was a little shocked. This is a novel in 5 stories, and this one, I don't know what it's about. I'm sure that it is a life lesson and not actually about anti-Semitism. I am confident that NYRB Books is going to do that. A well-known author, I got The Goose Hawk by T.H. White. I know I've heard of this one and I was interested in reading this. This one I think is nonfiction, retelling of a time when he knew a goose hawk. And then I got Rogue Male by Jeffrey Household. This one is, none of these are translated. This one is about a hunter who stumbles on the wrong hunting ground and is captured like an animal himself. So I think this is going to be a parable or a cautionary tale of, you know, destruction and hunting and killing animals. So I think that one will be interesting. But I do have a translated work, and that is Sugar Street by Naguib Farouz, who is a Egyptian author, and this was translated by William Maynard Hutchins and Angel Boutros Saman. This one just looked really interesting. It says on the cover, winner of the Nobel Prize for Literature. This was written in 1992. Well, okay, it was originally published in Arabic in 1957 and it was translated in 1992. So this one I really don't know what it's about, but it just sounded really interesting. I think it's going to be a story partially set in Egypt, so what more do you need to know? And then after the sale, I went to a little free library and I found The Legacy of Molly Southbourne by Tade Thompson. This is the third in the Molly Southbourne trilogy or series, and I've only read the first one, but I loved the first one so much. It absolutely blew my mind. It was one of the first like horror weird girl books that I ever read when I first started making booktube videos and when I first joined booktube, and I had seen Books and Lala read it and love it, and I loved it so much, and I still think about it all the time, and I'm super excited to read the other books. I did loan out my copy of Murders of Molly Southbourne, and I'm starting to think that I'm never going to get it back, although my friend did read it, so maybe this is an excuse to get it back, because she did read it, so maybe I can be like, oh, I got another one of the series, like I need it back, and then I can slyly get my book back. I mean, if she kept it forever, hopefully she liked it and she appreciates keeping it forever, but if not, I can always get another copy, obviously, but since I try not to buy used books online through used booksellers if I can help it, it might be a little while. It also might be a little while before I find the second in this series and actually move on with that series, but I was super excited to find the third. So those are the highlights of the books that I found. I also found 2 David Grann books. My husband really liked Killers of a Flower Moon, so I found The Wager for him, which I actually found in a little free library, not the book sale, and also The Lost City of Z, so I thought he might enjoy those. And I liked Killers of the Flower Moon too. I like that narrative nonfiction style and that journalistic style of narrative nonfiction specifically, so I could definitely read those as well. I got a lot of things and I'm happy that I did. Today, I should really do more work, but I think what I'm going to do is walk out, get some groceries. I need to eat like a salad. I need some lettuce and some vegetables in my life. I ate broccoli last night, but it was a little old. Oh, and I ate peppers out of the garden. We have a lot of peppers in the garden, so I need to eat something with peppers over the next few days. I'm hoping that if I walk out and don't drive to the grocery, I will get my walk in, and also I will be like more inclined to just get a few things and not come home with a lot of garbage. So I'll let you know how that goes. Hopefully for the rest of the weekend, I have the rest of tonight, all of tomorrow, which I'm going to go to that book sale in the morning, and then I have to work on payroll. Monday, I'm going to go into my office job. Tuesday, I have to dog sit. That is a weird, fun thing. I don't dog sit. I'm allergic to dogs. I'm allergic to cats too, but not as much. I'm allergic to dogs, so we will dog sit this week. Then my husband comes home on Wednesday, but I have that other book sale on Tuesday and Wednesday too, so we have to do that. Yeah, and we'll just adult a little. I'm going to try and clean the house some. I already did some dishes. I already cleaned out the cat boxes, and I want to clean the cat rugs, the rugs that go under the cat boxes. I might do that as soon as I get home. light ever. Okay, so I kind of planned to finish this vlog up the last time I was alone, but now I'm alone again, so I might as well keep going, do a few more days of my life alone. First tomato sandwich of the season. I got these at my local like fresh market, farm market place that I love, that's like a garden center and farm market and has vegetables, and this was one of their ugly tomatoes. Just time for that classic summer tomato sandwich. I'm going to dinner with my dad tonight. I feel like I haven't seen him recently and I want to go to this restaurant that my husband wouldn't necessarily like, so I thought it would be a good time to do that with my dad. I have to work again, of course. My husband left this morning and the cats are already acting weird. They're like fighting, they're pining for him. They don't like it when he leaves. I don't like it when he leaves, but I do like being alone. So it's always a little bit of a struggle because I do like being alone and it's fun to have some time in your house by yourself. But on the other hand, you know, I miss him and I wish he were here. Even though the last trip that he took was longer than this one and I had hoped to get a lot done, I didn't get a lot done because I had so much work to do and I was just working the whole time basically, all throughout the weekend and everything. But this trip is a lot shorter, only like 3 full days, and I really am hoping to get more done by myself, solo, like cleaning, organizing, just general stuff as well as work because I don't have as much work to do. We will see. Look at these cats. You see what I'm saying? They're trouble. We got some more bins for storage. I'm a little bit obsessed with bins. Like, we have bins all over the house at the moment, but we are trying to like organize our stuff into bins so that then we can like move them, clean the house a little bit, get things a little bit more organized, and then go through the bins and then theoretically get rid of bins, or at least like be able to stop buying bins because I hate to buy all the bins. We never seem to empty out any bins. Earlier this year I emptied out a couple bins and then like immediately used those and needed more bins again. So buying bins is like a problem. But on the other hand, like if you treat them well, they should last a good long amount of time. Also, those boxes are cat house boxes, like the cats are into them. It's a true cat house where you have like 6 empty boxes hanging around just for the cats. Whatever, I'm sure your house is like that too if you are a cat lover. This camera for so long, you would think I would know how the settings work and how to make it look good, but I really don't. I don't. So I'm just getting ready to go. I'm gonna go out. I haven't done much these last few days. I have not done barely anything actually except work. So I thought before my husband gets home, as one of my last things that I want to do on these solo days, I'm gonna go to the Salvation Army and maybe hit the Goodwill, but definitely do a little bit of shopping as well. I have a list, a couple of things that I want to get. Should I stay home and clean the house? Probably, but like, do I want to? No. I find that I put off cleaning and doing things like that as much as possible all the time, which is not ideal, but what are you gonna do? Since it's my last day of a few solo days, I might as well just do what I want. I do have a bunch of stuff that needs to go in the basement. I don't like to open the basement door when my husband's not here because I don't like to lock it. There's like a locking mechanism that's hard to lock. Now that he's coming back tonight, I will feel comfortable opening the basement door because I won't have to relock it tonight. He'll lock it. So I will probably bring some stuff down to the basement. I do still have to work today, which like I really am dreading and I just don't want to do. I'm really burnt out on all my jobs. I don't have to do a ton today, but I should get some done. I'm gonna go to the Salvation Army. I'm gonna go shopping and then I'll see where I am, how I feel when I get back. the store. There were so many Christopher Pike and R.L. Stine and like kid horror books at the Salvation Army. Oh my god, it made me wish that I knew Alex from the Bookubist or Ollie from Criminale or any of the people who like love those kind of books. I don't think Criminale does as much, but I know Alex does. Like, I wish I knew them more personally instead of just online so that I could have like texted them and be like, yo, do you want me to buy you all these Christopher Pike books? So many. Some that I recognized, some that I didn't. It's gonna make someone's little YA horror heart just melt. Unfortunately, not mine. I'm just not a Christopher Pike person anymore. I used to like their stuff when I was little. But here are the books that I did pick up. I picked up a copy of The Water Cure. I've already read this, but I did really enjoy it, and I gave my copy to a coworker quite a few years ago who then got fired, so I'm sure I'm never getting that back. So I thought I would just pick up a copy for my red shelf. I picked this up. It is The Free People of Color of New Orleans by Mary Gehman, G-E-H-M-A-N, who appears to be a white person, and this seems like it is like a history of Black New Orleans, which is really interesting, so I thought that one sounded really cool. I've never seen another book by Ken Kesey. I have read One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest a couple of times, and I loved it, of course. I did get Sometimes a Great Notion by Ken Kesey. This is a big old mama here at, let's see, over 600 pages. I don't know. I just thought I would get it. This I didn't get today, but it was still in the car from the other day. It's A Journey Around My Skull by Frigyes Karinthy. Frigyes Karinthy. This is a translated work. It was translated from the Hungarian by Vernon Duckworth Barker, and it is a memoir of this author having a mental breakdown, I think. Oh, a brain tumor, a cancerous brain tumor that caused him to have hallucinations and stuff. I thought this sounded really interesting, and I got it at my local used bookstore for $5, and it's a NYRB book. Whenever I see NYRB books cheap, I'm always going to grab them. I did get Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I've read one Adichie book before that I liked. I think that they are a controversial person because I think they are a transphobe or possibly a TERF. Not cool. We don't like that. We disagree heartily. It was half price all books, so it was like 40 cents. Then I got this, Blackwater Falls. This is introducing Detective Inara Raman, not like ramen, like Rahman. This is by Asuma Sehagnat Khan. So I think this is a Muslim detective. Definitely on my radar was The Hike by Drew McGarry. I've heard good things about this. It's supposed to be like very weird, and I think it's about walking, which I like books about walking, and I love walking in general. So those were the books that I got. I am now making myself a sausage, and my husband is on the plane. So he is on the way home, and I'm going to end this disjointed long vlog here. These were a couple of days over a couple of weeks of my life when I'm alone. I love being alone. I am not a lonely person. I don't get lonely. I could be alone for a very long time, happily and contentedly, but I do miss my husband, and I'm super glad that he's coming back. And the cats are super glad that he's coming back. They have separation anxiety, and the first night he was gone this trip, it was like a total disaster. I'm cooking a Beyond sausage because my husband was obsessed with them a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't get to eat any because I wasn't in town, so I'm going to eat that for dinner, and I'm going to do some more work because I haven't really done any work today. Not really. Not the work that I should have gotten done. So let me know if you love to be alone. Let me know if you enjoyed seeing a few days in my life and what I get up to as a solo person whose significant other is away. Let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned here. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!